Hey guys, I am cmasupra and welcome to another Company of Heroes video, and this one is going to be a bit different from the past few towards the end, and that's just because instead of what normally happens in my videos at the end, it's going to be the total opposite. If you know what I'm talking about, good for you. If you don't, I don't blame you because I'm being really vague. Anyways, I cannot hear the game. What's up with that? Oh, I have my sound muted. There we go. It wasn't muted for you guys, but it was muted for me. This is going to be me, I am a level 11 player, and my opponent is a level 13, as you can see in the chat right there, yeah. I'm two levels lower than him, but I actually don't do that bad. I am personally very proud of the way I played in this game, and it's actually probably the best I've played in weeks, I would have to say. So yeah, if you want to see good gameplay, I guess this would be the right video. If you want to see good mouse movements and keyboard usage, this would also be the right video. If you want to see failing, this is not the right video for you. Although it kind of is. I don't know. There's always a fail because somebody has to lose, right? For starters, I am doing the normal start, just two engineers. One of them built the barracks, the other one immediately went out and captured the fuel point on the left side of my base. And then in my barracks I have a rifle squad being produced, which just came out, and I am having him capture the cutoff point next to my base, while I have engineers on the right side of the map capturing the fuel point that will be connected after I capture the cutoff point next to my base. So they actually get captured at about the same time, fuel point and then the strategic point, so that just worked out perfectly. It's a good tip for you guys if you ever start at the top of Langres, or Langre. I called it Langres. I thought I'd stop doing that, but nope, I haven't. If you ever start at the top of the map, you can use that little trick where you send one, not pioneer, well I guess pioneer, engineer, whatever it is, out to capture the fuel point, and your main unit can capture the cutoff point. So we have our first battle here in the middle, and it's Volksgrenadiers versus rifles, and then pioneers decided to come in. And I'm actually losing the battle now, so I think I'm going to retreat here soon. Yeah, there we go. Because I realized I'm going to lose this battle. Even though it's at medium range, he is doing more damage to me simply for the fact that he has pioneers helping him, and that's actually very important. If you ever are in an engagement that early in the game, always send your pioneers or engineers to help. I didn't do it, and as a result I lost that battle. So I now have another rifle squad out, and I'm putting him in green cover, making him step forward along the path that's near my base. So they're in green cover, they're fighting Volks, they are going to win clearly. The Volks have 3 men and are half health. My rifles are full health. And then we have pioneers dying to my engineers over on the left side, but we're not going to watch that because this is what needs attention. The battle going on in the middle because, like I said, my opponent is level 13. I should probably be paying attention to any tricks he might have, such as the trick right here where he's drawing me in closer to his Volksgrenadiers, which are about to show up from the bottom. He has another squad. There they are. He actually didn't reinforce that squad, as you can tell, and I'm trying to eliminate the pioneers here first because of the simple fact that they are the weakest unit. So if you focus fire them, they'll leave. Then I did the same for the Volksgrenadier squad that's retreating now, and I need to retreat my squad. I think I'm going to lose the squad if I remember correctly. Why am I not retreating him? Oh, I retreated him far too late, yeah. And then I retreat that squad. I thought I was actually going to win that battle. And I feel like I've been rambling. I feel like I haven't taken a breath in a little while. I thought I was going to win that battle, but I obviously didn't. So that sucked. I do need to work on talking slower. I actually went through my old videos once. I found that it was so much easier to understand me back then than it is now. I mean, I sounded so much more boring and monotone back then, which I still sound monotone in my opinion, but I sound so much better now. But the side effect is I'm not understandable, so I do know I need to slow down talking a little bit while still trying to sound entertaining, because that's part of the reason you guys watch these videos. I think the major reason is because I'm a good teacher, to you guys anyway. So I am building a, what's that thing called? Supply depot, supply yard. Probably supply yard. And the reason I'm building it is so I can get M8s, and the reason I'm going to get M8s is because my opponent has an MG. I'm 2 levels lower than him. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a good job flanking him. He probably knows exactly where I'm going to flank him with rifles. So instead of going BARs first, which is what I normally do, I'm going to go for an M8 first. And actually could have gone for a half-track first in this game, but I didn't even think about that. The two strategies I mainly do are BARs first and M8 first. Those are the two strategies. I don't really think about the other strategies, like half-track first, or tank depot, or I don't know. What other strategies can you do? I guess WSC first, after barracks. Don't ever start with the WSC, by the way. I know lots of people like to start off with weapon support centers, WSCs, but don't do that. It's not a good start unless your opponent is not very good. And my opponent's gonna lose his Pioneer squad right here. That was awesome. I was just like, yeah, you just lost 120 manpower. And I'm also cutting him off on the left side, as you can see. You can see it on the mini-map. I am capturing his cutoff point on the left side. Sadly, though, I think he has the middle strategic point in the map, so I'm actually not cutting him off from a single thing. And I realized this when I was capturing that point, but I was just like, whatever. I'm still going to capture the point, because at some point you're going to want it back, and I'm going to lay a mine here, and you're going to run over that mine. So I was basically capturing it to lure him into the mine. I guess that would be the reason for capturing it. So I'm now building the... did I use the wrong name? No, I didn't use the wrong name. It is Supply Yard. I was thinking way back. I just ignore that. I'm now building a motor pool, and it's finally done. And I'm just gonna wait for 280 manpower for an M8. And my opponent is attacking my barracks, which means his MG is just a little bit close to the front line. And by attacking my barracks, I know exactly where his MG is, and that's not good for him. I need to retreat this rifle squad. There we go. Hey, my engineers are watching him retreat. Why am I not Ooh, I just took down another Pioneer squad. That's a huge advantage for me. He has lost 2 Pioneer squads. I have not lost any full squads, I don't think. You can see at the... Well, you can see his MG repositioned to face these 2 rifle squads who were at that munitions point. That is not mine. It belongs to my opponent up at the top of the map, that one. I mean, not exactly at the top, but you get what I mean. He repositioned the MG there, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna flank around behind you, and you're not gonna be able to do anything to me, and apparently I was wrong. He has another MG there. And 2 rifle squads versus Volk squads at his cutoff point. I know I'm gonna win this. I think he actually ran over my mine. Yeah, he did. That mine is no longer there. The mine killed 1 guy from the Volksgrenadier squad, but that was not exactly what I was wanting. I wanted it to do a little bit more than that. Spending 25 munitions to kill 1 man is not very cost effective, especially when you're already winning the battle. So, yeah. Because I was already winning the battle because I had 2 rifle squads. He had 1 Volksgrenadier squad. I was winning and then the mine went off. That was just a waste. And now you can see or hear an MG42 firing, and it is from the top of his Wehrmacht quarters, so I now know he's gone defensive. He's going to the left side. He can reinforce from bunkers now. And I lost my Greyhound. I don't know how. I guess it was just a mine. And I guess Greyhounds without armored skirts, side skirts, can't survive a mine. So yeah, always buy side skirts on your M8s. I've said this many times before, and I was actually buying side skirts on it, but I didn't expect a mine, so I sent it in without the side skirts being finished. So it died, and I may or may not have lost 50 munitions. I probably didn't. But yeah, you should always put side skirts on your M8s. Always, always, always. Kind of the opposite of never, ever, ever, which I have said quite a few times, and I think that's actually how I described putting side skirts on your M8 last time I talked about it. So here's another M8. I was just like, okay, well, now my opponent knows I'm going to use an M8 first, but I'm going to build another anyways, and here my rifle squad ran over a mine. So that sucked. He is using mines very, very well. That is good. That is very characteristic of a level 13 player. They know how to use mines. I somewhat know how to use mines. I mean, I lay them when I think about them, which I do think about them pretty often, but I might lay a few too many. he he's he's probably using them a little bit better than I am. I think I lay too many because I put them in the most random spots, but I'll usually put them in places where I can't guard. Like, right now I can't guard the right side of the map, so I'd place a mine on the right side of the map to make sure he couldn't get it. But I wouldn't place just one mine, I'd place many mines. One would be too few, I'd probably place like 3, which might be good enough, and it might be too many, I don't know. That's what I would do, but there is a chance that I laid too many mines. I'm too mine happy. But you should always use mines. Never don't use mines. That's a double negative, but it's still true. Always use mines. If you don't ever think about mines, train yourself to think about them. Yeah, that's really all I can say, because I was someone who never used mines before, and I was like level 7, level 8 back then, and then realized when somebody told me that I should start using mines, I realized, yes, I should. Am I gonna kill this Volk squad? That'd be awesome. That would just be so awesome. I don't kill it. Okay, back to story time. Eventually somebody told me I should start using mines, but I never thought about mines, and I fully agreed with them. Yes, I should use mines, but I didn't. I never used mines still because I never thought about them. So I don't know how, but I somehow trained myself to start thinking about laying mines, and now I lay them so often it might be a little too much, as I said. But I don't know. All I know is mines are really helpful, and you should always use mines in games because they can change the game. I mean, it's 25 munitions to kill usually like 2 or 3 guys in a squad. Dang it, I lost my M8 again. That's my second M8. How did I lose that one, though? Because I actually don't know. I mean, there was no mine there. It was standing still, so it didn't run over a mine. He shot one Panzerfaust at it, but the M8 was full health when he shot the Panzerfaust, so it's not like the M8 was weak. So I really don't know how I lost it. Maybe he has a Pack 40. That's probably the answer, is he has a Pack 40, but I actually don't know for sure how I lost it. Yeah. So I guess let's talk about the game more. Story time is over. I am capturing the left side of the map. He is trying to stop me from capturing the left side of the map. I'm using suppressing fire here. It turns out to be the most useful 20 munitions I've spent in this game. Possibly. Look at how many squads it's suppressing, and oh, I almost lose that squad. I do have to retreat the squad that was suppressing, but it managed to give my other squad enough time to capture the middle point and then retreat. And I'm also taking back my cutoff point next to my base, as you can see on the screen, and I just took it back. So now I'm getting resources from the right side of the map, not the base. And I am happy with this because I'm fighting someone who's 2 levels higher than me, and I have most of the map. I'm also winning most of the engagements now. Actually, that's not true. I'm not winning most of the engagements. I'm winning some. I have lost 2 M8s, though, so that's not a good thing. My opponent is using MGs very well. I never know where to expect them, and that's because he constantly moves them. After any engagement, he moves his MG, and I don't know where it is anymore. He's also used wire really well to prevent me from going in certain flanking areas, so that is quite good. He is taking back the left side of the map now. I am getting resources from the right side, but it's not as much as he's getting, I don't think. So while I'm fighting in the middle here, and I'm going against an MG, I am cutting wire at the very, very top of the screen with my engineers up there. It turns out they're actually not cutting wire, so I tell them to cut wire again. I don't know why that bug is in this game, but sometimes you tell a unit to do something and they don't do it. I don't know. But as the battle in the middle was going on, I was capturing the left side back for myself. I was sending the 2 rifle squads off to the right to keep the victory point on the right side as my own victory point. And yeah, I was doing a whole bunch of things at one time, and that's multitasking. And if you don't multitask in this game, you are going to not do as well as your opponent if they do multitask, because they will simply overwhelm you. They'll make you concentrate on one area, but then they'll send another squad somewhere else on the map and take the whole map that way. And in the meantime, they have you focused on the battle that's going on in that original area. So multitasking is very important so that you notice when they're trying to make you concentrate on one thing and you really need to concentrate on something else. Now I just killed a medic up there, and that's when I realized, oh, my opponent has a med bunker. I should definitely deal with that. At least I think that's when I realized it. I might have realized it earlier. I don't really know. But I definitely realized it by now because I intentionally shot the medic. And you can't do that without realizing the opponent has a med bunker. Looking at the mini-map, my opponent has the middle of the map. I have the outer edges. It's like I'm just circling my opponent, and it's not working out well for me because I'm not getting very many resources out of it. I mean, if I take the whole right side, it's still useless to me if my opponent has the middle, because the middle is where the strategic points are, and those are the cutoff points that will prevent me from getting any resources. So he is playing quite smart, intelligently. Yeah, so much going on at once. There's not really any way I can talk about all of it, so I just have to cover the important parts, and I hope I'm doing well. So, I have this rifle squad in the building, and this is actually one of the worst buildings to be in because there's only one window facing the opponent right there. So, yeah, that didn't work out so well for me. I eventually had to get out of the house, as you can see. I did manage to dodge the grenade that my opponent sent in, and I was actually expecting that grenade because he was sending a grenadier squad close in. And here's another grenade that I managed to dodge, more or less. I took a little bit of damage from it, but I dodged it. So, yeah, 25 munitions wasted for you, except it did make me get out of the house and stop damaging you. So maybe it's not wasted. And, ooh, those pioneers were laying a mine, and then all of a sudden it blew up in their faces because my M8 shot it. That was funny. So I guess I'm realizing that my opponent has the middle, and I'm actually doing a lot. I'm making quite a bit of progress. Ooh, that MG is so screwed. So now I'm moving in with all my infantry from multiple directions. This is a ton of flanking I'm doing, and that's the name of the video right here. It's because of this one battle right here where I'm just doing a ton of flanking. It looks like I'm going to win this battle, but trust me, I'm not. I mean, I did not expect it, but I don't actually win this battle right here. And it sucks that I don't. I might even lose that Vet 2 squad, and ooh, there's a Pack 38 right there, so maybe I did lose the M8 earlier from a pack. Now I have a third M8 out on the field, but I am keeping it on the left side of the map so that I don't have to deal with the Pack 38 in the middle of the map. I just went Armored Company. I'm going down the right side for the Calliope, and I also have the raid ability now, so I think I'm going to tell my M8 to capture a point. There we go. So, raid, in case you don't know, basically means light vehicles can capture points, and it's really useful. Sadly though, they capture points like at 0.75 speed, I believe. Maybe it's 1 speed, I don't know. Engineers capture points at 1 speed, riflemen capture points at 1.25 or 1.5, I can't remember. I believe vehicles capture points at 0.75. I might be wrong about that though. I haven't looked at the stats in a long time. So, how is my M8 so damaged? Did he have Panzerschrecks or was there a pack? I can't remember. I think they were Panzerschrecks. Or Fausts. Panzerschrecks or Panzerfausts. And I just back my M8 up and then just keep it there. And I hate this bug in the game. It's been here for years. And it didn't used to be in there. It was added into the game at one point, and it's definitely a bug. I mean, there's no way it's not a bug. I can't imagine it being intentional. If you look at the command points, the number 2 there is blinking. And it didn't, at least in the original Company of Heroes, I don't know when this bug came up, let's talk about the past. In the original Company of Heroes, it would not blink unless there was something you could purchase. But I have found that it blinks even when there is nothing I can purchase. I don't know if there's actually something I can purchase right now. I don't know how much the first ability on the left side of Armor Company costs. It's one or... well, it's one or three. I don't think it's two. It might be two. But it's blinking right now. I don't think it's supposed to be. But there are definitely times where it is blinking and I know it's not supposed to be, so... yeah, that bug is in the game. It's really annoying. I always click it thinking, ooh, I have something I can buy here. But it turns out I don't actually have anything I can buy there. So that always sucks. My opponent now has an Ostwind. I did not mention that. He has an Ostwind now. Dang, he's using For the Fatherland really effectively. I don't like that. He should play worse and make me win. But yeah, he has an Ostwind, and I have nothing to counter the Ostwind. I have 56 munitions, so even if I bought stickies, I wouldn't have much of an ability to use the stickies. I don't have an AT gun. I don't have Rangers. I don't have a tank. I don't have artillery. So I don't have anything I can take out the Ostwind with, and he's like, GG, because I don't think you have anything to counter this with. I say, lol, not yet. I have a Calliope coming out. I don't tell him I have a Calliope, of course. I don't want him to know that. But I just tell him, not yet. Wait and see what I have in store for you. And the Calliope I send that actually does really, really well. And here's an AT gun. I think I might have also bought stickies, but I have an AT gun now, and this AT gun basically prevents him from base raping me with the Ostwind, which he could have done very easily. And now he's sending the Ostwind to my M8. My M8 is not pathing well at all. Look at this. I am trying so hard to get my M8 to survive it. At some point here, I just give up and like, hey, go that way. I don't care how you get there, just go that way. And it eventually dies because of that. So, that sucked. There we go, M8 is dead because of bad pathing. Apparently in Company of Heroes 2 there's going to be a reverse button, and I don't actually like that because it makes the game easier. A lot easier. I mean, basically, whenever you tell a tank to go somewhere, now, in Company of Heroes 2, you just hit the reverse key and then click where you want it to go, and it'll reverse the whole way. Whereas in Company of Heroes, if you wanted it to reverse, you had to manually make it reverse slowly. So, yeah, it's kind of like an easy button, in my opinion. I really don't like it. Even it would have saved me right here, and I am complaining about the fact that the pathing sucks in this game. At least the M8's pathing sucked right there. Look at this, this is amazing. Stickies through the hedge, 2 stickies actually. But yeah, as we're watching this, I am complaining about the M8's pathing right there, and the reverse button would have fixed it, but I still don't like the reverse button. I still think it's gonna be too cheaty. And here I'm just like, hee hee. He's like tricky, I think. I think that's what he says. Tricky. Yeah, tricky. So, yeah, that was just cool. 2 stickies through the hedge. That won't be possible in Company of Heroes 2, because with true line of sight, you are not going to be able to see over that hedge. You won't know what's there. And I don't know how that's going to change the game. I think the game is going to be a lot campier. Apparently the maps are going to be smaller, and blizzards are going to make you have to use cover more, and overall it's just going to be a campier game, which I'm not liking either. Overall, I am looking forward to Company of Heroes 2, even if I am complaining about it. So yeah, we're just going to stop complaining about it. And I just lost a whole Vet 2 rifle squad right there to the Ostwind, and here I just wiped out a ton of my opponent's infantry. I was just like, yay, this Calliope might save the day. I am pushed back in my base, but maybe it'll save me because of the simple fact that I can do lots of damage to infantry. And apparently the first ability on the left side for Armored Company is 1 command point. I now have my answer. So it was the 2 there was blinking because I actually could afford something. But I've actually had it blink when I can't afford stuff. I don't know if that's a... I know it is a bug, but I don't know when that bug came into existence in this game. So I have managed to push behind my opponent's lines. He just turned around his MG, and I was like, oh, you just turned it around? I'm going to send another rifle squad in. I've just taken down your Pack 38. You cannot damage my Calliope. I'm waiting for my Calliope to recharge so I can use its barrage again because it just does so much damage. And he's refacing his MG once again, so now the rifle squad that was charging in is no longer able to charge in. It is able to throw a grenade, I believe, before they die. Yeah, here we go, grenade, then retreat. And that grenade killed one guy. I have this rifle squad here killing medics because I don't want them to give my opponent free grenadier squads. And that med bunker, I believe, in my opinion, is actually the reason my opponent won this game. And I'm not going to deny that he didn't win. I'm not going to hide the fact, rather. You can clearly tell I am pushed back in my base, and no Calliope is going to save me, no matter how much damage it does. I was hoping to actually kill the Ostwind there, but sadly it didn't happen. So, yeah. I think that med bunker is actually why I did not win this battle, because I actually did a better job killing my opponent's infantry than he did of killing mine, and I actually had most of the map for a little while there. So, yeah, I was winning well, until the Ostwind showed up, and I do not believe that Ostwind would have shown up as early as it did if my opponent did not have a med bunker. So that med bunker saved my opponent in this game, in my opinion. That's the reason I lost this game. He disagrees with me, as you will see at the end, but that is my opinion. So, he's recruited his Pack 38. Apparently he really wants it and doesn't want me to have it. And he has a whole bunch of infantry. I immediately was like, I'm not gonna survive this if I charge in, so let's just back up. Is my Calliope ready to fire? I think I'm gonna check here really soon. I should check if it's ready to fire. Yeah, here we go. I have selected. It is almost ready to fire. So, what am I gonna do while I wait for it to fire? I'm just gonna stare at it, apparently. That's not the right thing to do, but it's apparently what we are going to do. And here I told the Calliope to barrage, and I was just like, oh, that's not where I wanted the barrage. But lucky for me, it actually does quite a bit. Oh, I killed a sniper? I didn't know I killed a sniper with that. Did you see the plus 19 XP? If you didn't, go back and watch that. I killed a sniper with that barrage. I did not realize that when I was playing. So that's awesome. I killed my opponent's sniper with the Calliope barrage. But when I did click the Calliope barrage there, I was like, oh, that's not where I wanted to send that barrage. I wanted to send it on all the infantry, which had actually moved by the time I sent the barrage. So I didn't hit what I was wanting to hit, but I hit something else, and it was possibly more valuable, namely a sniper and a Pack 38. And apparently he had bought 2 snipers. The other sniper that survived was less than half health, as you might have seen. So, yeah. If I'd gotten both snipers, that would have been amazing. And here's the med bunker that is the reason I lost this game, in my opinion. And he's sending down defensive artillery, so I just tell my engineers to retreat. And they actually almost die, because I told them to retreat just a little bit too late. So I have 85 victory points. I am capturing one of the victory points, and I'm capturing a munitions point, because I actually need the munitions. I don't have very many munitions. I have enough fuel, but I don't have munitions. And here is my opponent using For the Fatherland really well. I mean, look at this. This Calliope barrage is right on top of the infantry, and I'm not killing the infantry, so that For the Fatherland really helps. Oh yeah, for those of you who don't know, For the Fatherland basically makes your infantry take less damage. I don't know what exactly it changes, whether it's accuracy or armor or health or what it is, but it makes your infantry and possibly vehicles. I can't remember if it affects vehicles. I have not used it in a long time, but it makes your infantry at least harder to kill. So he used it really well there. If he hadn't used it, that would have been his whole army wiped out right there. And I would have won, but I didn't. So, yeah. I wish I would have won there, but I didn't. Yeah. Somebody has to lose, right? So he's now base raping me, as it's what makes sense, because he has the whole map. He knows exactly where all my infantry and vehicles are, and my vehicles consist of a Calliope, really. So not very many vehicles. He still has a sniper, and it's actually more than half health now. I guess he used a med pack on it. And my Calliope is firing. I think I'm firing it on the MG. I am. And it only kills the MG. But then, hey, here's a Panzer IV to deal with. I was just like, okay, well I have an AT gun, but you're sniping the infantry out of it, so it's not the most useful AT gun. And the AT gun's dead now. As you are about to see, I believe. Maybe not. No, it actually reinforced, so it's not dead yet. Oh, then it dies. So it actually had 3 men. And sadly, I guess the game didn't recognize it as had 3 men, so it died. I now have 26 victory points. My opponent is all over in my base. I'm sending out a couple infantry squads to go to the middle victory point and hopefully delay the inevitable. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you that they won't, and you can also tell by the video time that they won't. So, yeah, I asked him for tips. He says, yes, I will give you tips, you played so badly. He said yes so quickly. That's how I took it. It's like, yes, you played so badly, I must give you tips. He says to flank, get 4 rifles, come from every direction, use nades, get MG. And that's the extent of his tips. I think he just leaves after the screen. So I tell him in response, I thought I was doing a good job flanking early in mid-game. Late game I obviously wasn't because I only had my base, so I couldn't really flank him. He knew exactly where I was. Yeah, I tell him I thought I was doing a decent job, and in my opinion I was. I had most of the map because of the flanks I was pulling off, but then his med bunker and the ostwind saved him. So, yeah, he was able to push me off at some point, mid to late game, and he ended up winning. There's some piece of paper under my chair, and it's annoying my leg. I'm trying to stick it back under my chair. There we go. So, yeah, I lost, clearly. My opponent did not have 500 victory points, though, so he actually had less than 400, at 375. So I actually had most of the map for a little bit there. But I still lost. Despite all the flanking I did. Yeah. I really do think that med bunker saved him, because I was killing so much of his infantry that without the med bunker, he wouldn't have had much of an infantry force, and that Ostwind never would have shown up, even though I was kind of expecting some vehicle at some point. But yeah. Panzer IV in my base. Did I just mute my mic? I did not. I hit some button on my headset. I'm talking about so many things not related to this game. He still had his sniper alive, which was retreating. He built tier 1, tier 2, tier 4, and veterancy. He skipped tier 3, as a lot of people do, including myself, quite often. He was doing the standard tier 2 med bunker strat, and then you eventually go tier 4 after you have some veterancy. And basically the strategy is you spam grenadiers, you get a med bunker for more grenadiers, and you grenadier spam your opponent to death. Although he did use infantry quite well. That's not what I meant to say. He used MGs quite well in addition to the grenadiers, so it wasn't just like he was spamming grenadiers and won that way. I'm not trying to say he was doing that. He played very well. I will give him that. Apparently I had 925 points under building, as you can see on the screen. He had 900. I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that means. Does that mean I built more things? I don't have a clue. But that was really the only area I won in. I did get yellow in losses, but I don't think you want more losses. I don't get why you get more points for more losses, but whatever. So I hope you all enjoyed, and hope you found this informative. There was a lot of flanking in this game, which I am personally proud of how well I played against a level 13 player. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.